Hello, friends. It's the grumpy old man, broadcasting live from station WDWL TV, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. And we are in Studio B, and we are a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. I'm tired of giving that damn bird top billing all the time. Jesus. Okay. Let's get on with it. Today, I had to go to the post office and mail a package. No big deal. Except there were two gentlemen at the counter. I could not make out their ethnicity. I couldn't peg the accent. They were originally discussing with the clerk about forwarding their mail. Now, what I have learned is this is a two-step process now. Back in the day, you filled out a card. Well, you not only have to fill out a card, but you have to physically come into the post office and reconfirm all the information on the card. No big deal. Maybe a little bit of inconvenience, but no big deal. Except these two gentlemen wanted to forward their business mail to their residence. There has been a long-running code with the post office that you cannot operate a commercial business from a private residence. Now, you know, the eBayers, they're getting away with it, but this guy had some sort of commercial business, wasn't an eBayer. Now, the clerk behind the counter was being very, very pleasant with him. He kept raising his voice an octave, of course, wanting to draw attention, and she was just as petite and nice as could be. And she just kept telling him, "Sir." And she had the postal code stating, you cannot forward mail from a commercial business to a private residence. Ain't gonna happen. And he was getting louder and louder and louder, and so was his friend. And he started yelling. This makes no sense. I can do this in my country. Well, like she said, sir, unfortunately, you're in the United States. Our postal codes are different. Of course, then he started with, what's the big difference? You write a letter, put in an envelope, address, put on stamp, take to the post office. Okay, we get it. Every country, you address an envelope, put a stamp on it, and you either leave it from your postman or you take it to the post office. We understand that. We get it. But you can't forward commercial business mail to a private residence. It's in the postal code. It's been in the code for ages. And see, what he was trying to do, in my opinion, he was getting tired of paying rent and wanted to close the business and operate it from his house. Now, like I say, I wasn't an earshot as to, what the business was, but he was attempting to operate a commercial business out of his residence. You can't do that. It's not permitted. Just like I can't set up a repair garage in my driveway. Can't do it. You cannot operate a commercial business out of a residential neighborhood. And he at the point, there were several postal clerks that came out from the back along with the postmaster. And they finally handed him the printed regulations and just said, sir, we can't do it. Period. You can yell all you want. We can't do it. And this is the reverse of going postal. Because it wasn't the clerk going postal. It was the customer. And he lost. Another amazing thing today was, when I was in the post office, and certain people won't understand this, there was nobody auditing the post office. I didn't have to walk in and go, hey, I don't want to be on camera. Although I would have handled it a little different. And he wouldn't have wanted to upload the stream from where I would have stuffed the camera. Unless he was going to give directions on how to be an amateur proctologist, if you catch my drift. One thing I'm very happy about is I have never had to encounter one of these idiots. And today, at the post office, mailing my package, I didn't feel like I needed someone to protect my rights. I walked in with the package. I gave it to the clerk. She weighed it, told me how much it was going to cost. I pulled out the old Visa card. Ching, ching, done. I didn't need anybody to protect my right to mail that package. I felt safe, secure. So I will never understand these idiots that have to audit a post office. Not to mention there is a large poster on the wall that they call Poster 7 that explains you can't do that. But unfortunately, what I've found out watching a lot of YouTube videos is they stop at the end of the first paragraph. They cherry pick what they want, and that is their argument. And when someone points the second paragraph out to them, oh, they want to sit and argue. So I'm very thankful that today I wasn't at a post office that was being audited. Because, like I say, he would have gone from a First Amendment auditor to an amateur proctologist. And he would have had to see a professional proctologist to remove the camera from where I shoved it, along with his head. I don't understand these people. You know, I'm 72. I've never had anybody, you know, in a public building infringe on my rights to the point where I needed someone with a camera to protect me. Nope. Then to make matters worse, the typical goofy-ass weather in Ohio. You know, one day we're in the 50s, and today it starts snowing again. And, you know, I've lived here all my life. And, you know, like they say in Ohio, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes, it'll change. We have the goofiest ass weather in this state. And I've put up with it for 72 years. I can't change it. Don't like it. Live with it. Wrong time to remove the hair. Because I have to wear these thick furry caps in order to keep my brain bucket warm. Speaking of brain bucket, April, I need to go in and have my brain bucket scanned. I've never had a brain bucket scan. I've had other parts. And I have no explanation from my oncologist why he wants to scan my brain bucket, because I already told him it's empty. There ain't nothing up there. I guess he wants to look for himself. At least he's not, you know, going to drill a hole and stick a camera in to take a look. It's just going to be a machine. You know, nowadays, and except for this doctor, because him and I have never met yet, and it's not going to be a pleasant meeting. But usually, all of my doctors, if they order some sort of test, will explain to me why. Not this one. You go there. Okay, I'll go there. Never a dull moment. And I'm hoping this microphone sounds all right, friends, because I changed the setting on the back here. You know, this has 4 different settings. It has a direct, it has a stereo, it has what they call a spatial, and then it has an auditorium. And I'm trying what am I turning? The spatial. I've tried the stereo. To me, it doesn't sound any different. The spatial, it would be like if I had a group of people here, like a meeting. So I don't know what it's going to sound like. So if it's blowing your eardrums out, I apologize. One of these days, I'll figure out how to test all this before I go live. But, you know, just to get where I'm at with Prism Studio Live, I'm happy. It's like, don't rock the boat. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's streaming for dummies. And it works. Because right now I'm streaming on 2 platforms. 2! Unheard of, isn't it? Now, to you professionals out there, you know, you stream on multiple platforms at once. The grumpy old man is streaming on 2, not 1, like I did, you know, for almost 2 years. 2. You know, like that. There was a commercial. It was two sticks in one or something. That's me. Two streams in one. I have to look that commercial up. And if a certain person is watching the stream right now, when you open the box, there's an added gift in there for your giveaway. I found it while I was going through some of my audio and, you know, video equipment. An item I really didn't use anymore. It was something I Everything's froze. Everything froze. YouTube is not receiving data. YouTube is not receiving data. I've never seen that before. Maybe I should switch to the little bigger. I've got a couple of these small form factor computers, and maybe I need to go to the one that's got a little more juice in it. Either that, or I might have to get a desktop for my streaming situation here, like I've got in Studio A. Either that, or maybe start broadcasting from Studio A. Although I have to download Prism Live Studio in the computer over there. See, that's another thing. All the accessory work is just about done in Studio A. I'll be broadcasting in that shortly. But that's another thing for the list. Put streaming for dummies on computer in Studio A. That freeze-up was interesting. Like, get the hell off already. I froze up. The clocking ticking. Now the clock is ticking. I think I better say bye-bye, friends.